What's going on, gamers? I know I've been quiet for a bit, but it seems Destiny now has some issues that are enough that I just can't sit by quiet any longer. But before I get my sort of rant going, I've got to thank a few awesome people that I do want to give a shout out to, just like always. Now I'd like to give a shout out to Ivan Reynolds, Bob Beekman, Diane Silva, and Edward DePietro and Cole112409 for also following me on Twitter. Destiny has, for me, really started a divide now. Now, for me, this division really started with the Refer a Friend program. Now, I think this started out as a good concept behind closed doors, and I'd imagine the conversation at Bungie went something like, hey, I've got a cool idea, let's make a new quest where we motivate people to interact with each other that haven't. Let's take this tower meeting place that people will just walk by and wave and give them a reason to do more than just, have a dance party. And all the people who take time to Sherpa players through the tougher content of this game, let's find a way to appreciate those players. Now, I think all these core concepts are really good. During a recent Iron Banner, I even helped a friend of mine who got the Taken King on PS4 and helped him get some wins on Crucible because, he didn't have any of the decent PvP guns. I see concepts like what I just said as really good. I would like to get something else to go with the satisfaction of helping others. However, what we got was not something that would have been designed to seek out and make new friends, but instead something that makes the level 3 that just showed up in the tower a target like the hot chick who just walked into a bar. To participate on this thing, you have to find a new player, and I mean a really new player, as in they just started Destiny within the last 7 days. The likelihood of you seeing that is pretty rare these days because there's just been nothing new going on in this game. After a year and a half, most everyone I know has already played Destiny or wouldn't play the video game, period. Yes, the game will be as inexpensive as it ever was, but so there's a chance of you still running into somebody new. But it almost feels like a push for people who have stopped playing to come back and spend some more time on the servers, hanging out in the tower like the creepy guy who loiters in the female dorm. In the end, this is kind of what I said way back in the beginning, is that it kind of feels like a friends and family plan to bolster the game's numbers. The most notable MMO that has done this is World of Warcraft, and in their plan, the big end goal was a mount, kind of like a sparrow. In Destiny, you can earn that gray shader, the emblem, the emotes, the legendary swords that are just simply reskins, and that Tron-like sparrow that everybody wanted since there wasn't really anything like it up until the SRL event. But the problem with this is it's a really dumb 7-day buy-in. My friend who I helped through Iron Banner, he didn't qualify. So even though when I Sherpa him through his first Kingsfall raid or first Crater Ends raid, those won't count. So why didn't Bungie make it work like this? Meet someone who hasn't done an in-game activity, like the raids, or take someone to the lighthouse who's not been. This would help unify the remaining player base that Destiny has. Let's be honest, we're in a dry spell and there's a lot of new games on the market. So instead of rewarding the loyal fans like myself and others for continuing to run and spend time on the servers, instead we have to go out and find new people who have not played Destiny, get them to buy it, register them with Bungie, and yada yada yada, you know the rest. Simply put, this is marketing bullshit. Instead of creating new and exciting content that would entice new players, Bungie's made it our job to go out and find more people to buy the game. And that sucks. We don't get a cut of what Activision or Bungie gets paid. Why are we now sales agents for this game? What's next? A Destiny telemarketing plan where we have to call random people too? Excuse me, man, do you know what Destiny is? No? Well, buy it anyway so you can join this pyramid scheme. Yeah, I'm being sarcastic here, but come on. This is pretty dumb, and the timing couldn't be even worse. And since this Refer a Friend fiasco, as I would like to think it, the only new content has been the SRL. There hasn't been any PvE updates. I don't really count the Festival of the Lost as substantial PvE content. We've had the same bounties for almost 5 months now. Destiny is really, it's kind of a comfort food. It's something that most people can agree to play with for, either the PvP side of this thing or the PvE side of this thing. Now, whether you're taking the time to knock out some old exotic bounties or you're just playing the PvP side, for a couple of months after the Taken King came out, you could kind of feel like that hour or so that you had time to spend to play, you made progress in just whatever you were after. But problem is, PvE is crazy stale right now. Anything that you needed to do, well, the majority has done. So PvP then. Well, around December, the lag got noticeably worse for everybody across the board. I had people asking me what was going on with all this lag, and honestly, I thought it was the servers were just really in need of some severe maintenance. Well, it turned out that's another problem. Bungie had instead dropped a new skill-based matchmaking for all of the Crucible servers, which meant you were matched up against someone from God knows where, and if they were far away, tons of latency or lag simply because you and that player had the same skill rank. If you went in with a friend just to have some comfort food fun, that wasn't possible. If they were a more casual player than you, they might get dragged through the mud and just ate death after death and lag. Not fun. So we have no clue of PvE content to come, and PvP is kind of a dumpster fire. And Bungie took time off. I can't really fault anyone for taking time off since I just took a break myself, but anyone who's watching this video didn't have to pay a dime to watch it. We all paid, though in varying amounts, to play Destiny, and we were advertised an expanding universe. Eververse and the live team that Eververse funds with its microtransactions haven't laid out what's coming over the next couple months because they're all projects that are still being worked on. When Destiny launched, we knew 2 expansions were coming, the Dark Below and the House of Wolves, and then a plan of what was potentially even further down the road leaked out, so we had something to even be more excited about. The Comet, or the Plague of Darkness I think is what it was called, turned into the Taken King. But since the Taken King launched, the possibility of 2 more expansions and for Bungie to also create a sequel to Destiny, that's a lot of content to generate in a year, even with High Moon Studios helping you with the load. So Bungie seems like they're stuck in a, do we save this PvE content for Destiny 2, which would give them more time to polish it, or announce it, and what parts of it do we announce? And that's where the game sits, up until tonight. Iron Banner is starting tomorrow, and it's going to be the Rift game mode if you haven't heard. Well, for Tuesday, it's going to use the old skill-based, lag-inducing matchmaking. But Wednesday at 10 AM Pacific, Bungie is going to change it. Change for the better? I certainly hope so. A lot of people are not thrilled with it being Rift, as solo players tend to not do as well against a fire team of players. If this reduces the lag to even or less than what it was before, that's a hell of a step in the right direction. But it's only a step. There is this Crimson Days holiday event coming, which seems like it's going to be more on par with the Festival of the Lost, but it'll include, one more little PvP thing. Sorry PvE fans. The Division seems to grow, and that's no pun on my part. Ubisoft is about to beta test its version of a shared world shooter. It's gotten my interest enough that I've created another small but growing community on Google Plus for the Division. And just like with Destiny, if you're looking for a place to discuss it, get info on it, or just hook up with the group, just check out the link. I'll put that in the description box. I'm even getting a few beta codes to give away, and I will give them out over Google+. So I'm encouraging people to try the Division as sort of a booster shot of something that's similar to Destiny, but it's its own entity. Now, there's nothing at all wrong with taking a break from Destiny to try something else. Now, I keep seeing posts of the great Destiny malaise and that now is the time to quit Destiny. Take a break, try the Division beta this weekend, and let's see what Bungie has to say over the next week or so. Give them time, they've gotten us this far. Now in my book, Bungie has earned the right to try to make the next coming steps. Hopefully they make them in the right direction. Alright, rant over. But if you like this type of content, just hit the like button or leave a comment, or if you want to see more, and yes, I do plan to have more, just hit the subscribe button. But as always guys, have a good one.